Hello everyone, welcome to Lesson 4, Chapter 4, Understanding JavaScript. So today, we're going to learn that JavaScript, like CSS, can be done in the document or linked externally. We're going to learn how JavaScript is used. We're going to learn that practice makes perfect. JavaScript can get a little complicated, and there's some math and programming of functions involved. So it's best to practice these concepts. We may need some additional resources. A favorite one that I like to use is called W3 Schools. It's in your PowerPoint coming up next. But it's a great resource for doing interactive coding examples. And not only in JavaScript, it has HTML, CSS, and other programming languages. So after going through the chapter, watching the presentation, and trying out the questions and examples, if you want more information and to try some new things, head over to w3schools.com and test out some of their coding examples. We're going to talk about how to test our JavaScript functions in the browser. We're going to be using the console in Chrome. And we're going to be going through and talking about what JavaScript can do. JavaScript can do many things, but here's just some of them. It can display messages to a user as part of a web page, in the browser status line, or in alert boxes. JavaScript can validate contents of a form and make calculations. JavaScript can animate images or create images that change when you move the mouse over them. JavaScript can create ad banners that interact with the user rather than simply displaying a graphic. JavaScript can detect what browser is in use or what features the browser has and perform advanced functions only on the browsers that support them. JavaScript can detect installed plugins and notify the user if a plugin is required. JavaScript can modify all or part of a web page without requiring the user to reload it. JavaScript can display or interact with data retrieved from a remote server. So as you can see, when you're building a website, HTML is the structure, the frame, pretty much the outline. CSS is the style. That's what makes it look good. The colors, the text, the font, the background. And then JavaScript is the functionality that interacts with the user. What happens when you click a button? Then when talking about how JavaScript fits into our web page, like I said earlier, we can put it in our HTML document in between script tags. Now there are reasons when this is appropriate, and then there are reasons when it's not. Alternatively, we can create a separate JavaScript file which we can link to. Similar to how we did with CSS, we would link to that separate JavaScript file in the head of our HTML document. And then all our JavaScript code will be in the .js extension. We're also going to talk about how to create variables. What are operators? And we're going to talk about building functions and how to use functions and why they are important. Coming up next, we have our PowerPoint presentation